All right, so today I want to talk about why Tennessee Titans fans should be more excited than they already are. I know a lot of fans are excited and have every reason to be excited because we are 3-1. We've beaten two teams that people said we wouldn't beat. I think most people even picked the Texans over us. But here are a few reasons why Titans fans should really be excited for this coming year, for the rest of the year. I mean, Matt LaFleur. So Matt LaFleur is the offensive coordinator. He came over from the LA Rams last year. Granted, he didn't make the play calls, but if you're an offensive coordinator, you're heavily involved in what they did over there, and their results speak for themselves. Jared Goff went from a guy that looked like he had no business being on an NFL football field to being a top 10 quarterback, maybe even top 5 last year. So Matt LaFleur coming over, you look at really what he had to work with in that first game. Really hard to get any rhythm. The Titans moved the ball up and down the field relatively quickly in that game, and then it went back to a delay against the Dolphins. Then they came back. Mariota got hurt. He threw 2 picks right away. Clearly something was wrong, and now you're running with your backup quarterback, which probably eliminates some of what you were hoping to achieve. At least it's going to break down the rhythm. So now, next game, they're playing with a backup quarterback. They've lost 3 of their top tackles, Lawan, Conklin, and Kelly, all out for their second game. He has to resort to wildcat trick plays, everything he can do to get the win, and he gets the win. He wins the game with everything that's been happening. So then you go to Jacksonville. Again, we didn't expect Mariota to play. Gabbert gets knocked out. Got to put Mariota back. Mariota. I was corrected on that. I'm gonna try to be better about that. Mariota. He gets thrusted back into playing. You could clearly see that most of the playbook is limited because he can't throw the ball more than 15 yards. At least that's what it looked like. Then last week, finally, you get some key cogs of the puzzle back. Conklin's back. Lawan's back. Mariota's back. It's just one of those things where the more time he has to work with this offense, the better off it's going to be. I mean, I expect it to be better. I expect it to be improving. I mean, there's going to be the game where it looks inconsistent here and there, but I expect it to improve every week. So I really think that the Titans fans, you are just starting to see what's going to be capable of the offense. I mean, the offensive line being fully healthy. We've also faced 2 really top-tier run defenses back-to-back. So I fully expect Derrick Henry to get going again. I'll never say losing Delanie Walker was a great thing, but for the one thing it was good for is that it allowed Corey Davis to kind of find his targets. At least we're going to force feed him, and we'll see what happens. And so far so good. It's been really one game that they've shoved the ball down his throat, but he definitely responded. So, and then another reason that the Titans fans should be much more excited for the rest of this year is Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator. This guy has found ways to get pressure without really blitzing a lot. He's just a mastermind of manipulating the opponent's offensive line. He gets them to overload the wrong sides and send a blitzing player free or just a delayed rush free. It's what he's been doing with our front 7 has been he's been overperforming the front 7, and we have a good front 7 anyway. We've been able to get to the quarterback. Last year, I felt like we had all this talent and we couldn't get to the quarterback. We couldn't do it. I mean, I don't know if it was that LeBeau was just set in his ways because he had been around for so long, but he just wasn't scheming correctly. Dean Pease is manipulating the opponent's offensive line. He's getting to the quarterback. Even if he's not getting sacked, he's hitting him. Carson Wentz, I think, was hit 11 times last week. He was sacked 3 or 4. I mean, I don't even know. Like I said, Jurrell Casey is in people's talks to be MVP of the league right now. Somebody came out and said that he is in the running. He's the top 10 candidate to be an MVP, the NFL MVP of this year. Now that is unbelievable. Like especially for the Titans, I know Jurrell Casey's good. He's well regarded as one of the most underrespected defensive linemen out there. Period. He has stats up there with Aaron Donald, all that, but he never gets that credit. He's performing better than Fletcher Cox, and everyone's saying how great Fletcher Cox is doing. So, what he's done for these guys has been great to be able to scheme them and let, maybe they can't always double Jurrell Casey every time. The next is the secondary. I know people are going to say, but flop, the secondary's let up a lot of yards or passing plays, whatever. Pease has implemented kind of a bend, don't break mentality. Their motto is "my man catches no balls," but let's be honest. Malcolm Butler let 7 catches go on 7, and he came out and said he needs to be better. Well, here's the flip side. He can't be any worse. He has to play better than this. Granted, it's right now it doesn't look good because he paid all that money. He got paid huge money to come down and be a number 1 cornerback. And I will say Adoree Jackson has outplayed him, period. And that's why I don't think Adoree Jackson should return punts, because I think he's our best corner. That really has to. He can't play any worse. 7 targets for 7 catches with a touchdown. One touchdown and 120 yards or something like that. The other touchdown I think was on LaShawn Sims, the one that Alshon Jeffrey caught last week. Mike Vrabel. Like I said, basically, Titans fans should be so excited from the coaching staff. They have yet to have all of their major pieces working correctly in the same week, and yet here we sit here, Titans 3-1, leading the division, 2-0 in the AFC South. The Titans traditionally always do, they always lose games they shouldn't in their own division. This year, hopefully they can turn that around. But obviously, Vrabel, he's a player's coach. I mentioned this in other videos before. I think the players really adore, they really love him. They really want to see him succeed. But I watched the videos. He's consistently working with the guys after practice, like Arakpo and Morgan and Landry. He's the one holding the bags. He's out there doing it every day. He's showing an interest, and you could clearly see that it's rubbing off on them. They really like that. So, those are the things I think. You really gotta, people want to say that the Titans have inconsistent play and yada yada yada. Well, why wouldn't you have inconsistent play when you have all these injuries to key players? Conklin has played 1 game and he was an All-Pro tackle his rookie year. Lewan missed a game. The offensive line has yet to have a good stretch of games. The continuity for an offensive line is huge. So I really expect the quarterback play to drastically improve. I expect the running game to improve. All of this stuff is going to get better. You look at these other teams. Do you really foresee them to have the ceiling that the Titans have if all the pieces start working together correctly? I do think that's kind of a misconception where people think that we're overperforming. Well, everyone wants to rag on us and say it's so ugly to watch the wins that they pulled out. But when all these pieces start working together correctly, we're going to start blowing people out, and then they'll start taking notice or whatever. I'm not really sure what to think of Vrabel's comments. I think he said, the players focus on the national media, that's not where their focus should be. Granted, who am I? I'm not Vrabel's got Super Bowl rings as a player. He's a coach. He's done all this, done that. But, just if that's what keeps him focused on, shoving shoving the ball down the Buffalo Bills' throat this weekend, who cares? It is his job to make sure that they don't overlook anybody, and I personally don't think he will. But I really think that, I obviously don't think make heads or tails. I don't think he's making jabs at anybody, but I really do think that that Vrabel and the coaching staff is going to bring the Titans to the next level. Might not be this year, but the Titans are a relatively young team, and it does stink Delanie Walker being out, but I don't know. Everyone's down on Jonnu Smith, but I saw what he could do his rookie year. He has certain talents. They just got to catch the ball. I don't understand. Like, I think they get antsy. They want to go and get the yards after the catch and blah, blah. But, just catch the ball first. Just focus on catching that ball. Even if you fall down, just catch the damn ball. I mean, the Titans are top 10 in drops right now. I saw the stat that yards after the catch they're doing well, but when you're dropping the ball all the time, it doesn't matter. So, all right, guys, drop me a sub, like, follow, whatever venue you're using, either YouTube or Facebook or what have you. That's the content for tonight. I really think that the Titans fans have a lot to look forward to this season and, going forward. As far as just a little backtrack, I don't think that, a lot of people think that Marcus might not be our guy going forward. The only thing that will lead me to believe that might not be true is that he was drafted before this coaching regime and John Robinson. So I guess, would I be floored if, say, they didn't pick up his option? I mean, they drafted a quarterback next year. I don't know if I'd be floored, but I'd definitely, I'd be floored, but I guess it wouldn't be out of the question because you see it all the time when coaching regimes come in and new GMs, if they inherit a quarterback, that it's not their quarterback, it's not the guy they wanted, so they'll go and they'll kind of phase him out. I don't see that happening, but I have seen the talks. I've been in the chat forums and all that stuff where people have said things like that. But I mean, who else is really out there? Say what you want about Marcus, but he wins games. He has a playoff win under his belt. That's something Andy Dalton's never done. Andy Dalton's never won a playoff game ever. I mean, but he's still starting for his team. So, all right, guys. But thanks for watching, and tighten up.